Yeah, long distance dating ain't easy.
It ain't easy. Because you don't know all about that person when you first go out with them or take a chance on them.
Love have to be in it. Commitment have to be in it. You definitely have to take that time. Take the time and take the effort. Put the effort in. Put the action into it. If you don't waste your time.
The day of, my car starts acting real janky when I was at the mall. Called my dad. I tried putting coolant in it. I had some of my friends look at it. I'm like, I have to pick Richard up from the airport.
I give you his side.
I'll give you her side.
But together, there's only one side.
All pointing to the one source.
In the beginning.
This is the One Flesh Podcast.
Welcome to the episode of the One Flesh Podcast. I'm your host, Pastor Richard A. Irvin.
And I'm your host, Deja A. Irvin.
And we are so happy to have y'all back. And last week we actually took a little break for one reason. I was under the weather. I wasn't feeling well, and it gave us some time to recuperate, get some things together, and get some episodes ideas together for y'all guys so we could be more consistent with it. But I am loving the response that we're getting from people watching the videos and stuff like that and the episodes. A lot of views have been coming in. People subscribing and giving us compliments. People at church, people around that we know. People complimenting the podcast and stuff. So thank you for the feedback. Continue to do that. And anything else we're going to talk about? Say? No? Okay. Well, today's episode podcast is talking about long distance dating. And the title of this episode is going to be Long Distance Ain't Easy. So one thing for all those that are listening, we were long distance dating before we got married, and it wasn't easy. I mean, I was coming down to visit her probably once a month, and but I would say this for a fact: long distance dating is probably the best dating you could do. That just to motivate those that are in the dating life, because some people might be discouraged, like, oh, I don't want to date this person, this, that. But I would say it's the best because one of my reasons is that you're not as tempted all the time. You're not around that person all the time. So I won't say it's easier, but I would say that it will give you less opportunity to fall. That's what I could say.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that long distance is better. Mm-hmm. I think it depends on the person as well. Mm-hmm. Because with the long distance, you know, they got a TV show called Catfish. So somebody could pretend to be a whole, other person, and then if you're only seeing them a handful of times in person, you only really know based on those handful of times what they're actually like. So I would say, I wouldn't say it's necessarily better, but it has its pros and cons. Mm-hmm. You just have to weigh the benefits based off of your particular situation.
Yeah, and then also we talked about this in our last episode. I think it was the last episode about. Was it last episode or for that? Anyways, I'll link it down in the description. It's called Anxieties of Dating.
Oh, yes.
And people have worries about people catfishing and people going through all these kinds of situations. But that's anxiety. We scared sometimes. And I know people, it's one couple that I know actually, one of my coworkers, an older lady that I work with, she was actually dating and engaged to a man that lived way in Africa.
Oh, wow.
And that's her main ministry now, actually. It's to help women that are going through this, because she knows that people have been hurt in the past from long distance dating. But her husband, actually, just got married recently. Her husband, she married him, she moved to Africa, everything, this and that. And I don't know too much. I'm going to find out the information about her channel, whatever they have. They have like some kind of channel. I might get them a podcast one day and have them talk about their relationship. She's a Christian woman. Her husband is a Christian man from Africa. So, the Africans, they be on fire for God all day long, my African brothers and sisters. But she talked about that. Like, that's her main, one of her main things, desire is to help women that that have been long distance. That's a real long distance dating. We're in a whole different country. And then she took that chance and she met him and they dated and they got engaged. He met his family and everything like that.
Wow.
But she said that she trusted the man of God that he was, and when she met him and everything in person and stuff like that, she was fully convinced, and they got married and everything.
Well, praise God.
Yeah, so
Praise
and
God.
actually she moved to Africa. I think she moved already to Africa. Yeah, and everything, because they had a wedding and stuff. So I think she moved out there. But yeah, it's definitely risky. Like catfish, yeah, it's a real show. That's a real thing. People do get catfish out there. But I would tell you this, like, you got to do your research. You got to study that person.
Yeah, the good and the bad thing about the internet is that you can social media stalk the person.
Exactly.
And figure out, based on what kind of things they post and like what kind of people they befriend on social media. It can tell you really a lot. Really a lot about a person. Based on the kinds of things that they post. Are they really walking the walk based on their posts? Or are they just talking and then when they post it's like cray?
Yeah, exactly. I want to give us a question. What is one thing that you liked about long distance dating?
I think one thing that I liked from long distance dating is the fact that nobody knew who you were. And if you guys didn't know, I'm from Delaware, and Delaware is very small. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody is cousins with everybody and friends, family friends.
Yeah, I learned that in the first week just moving here.
Yeah.
Literally at my job that I work at, literally everybody knows my wife. Like, oh yeah, I know her. Oh, I know her mom. Oh yeah, I know that. I like, oh yeah, everybody know you.
You probably know somebody.
Yeah,
in my family,
you probably know somebody else. And like, it's crazy that how small. I never grew up. I'm from LA, so a big city like me, people knows us, people around Watts, like in a little small community that we hood, whatever. But other than that, you unless you're really popular and you're a really outgoing person, people don't really know you like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say that probably was the best part for me, because. And I was actually just talking to you about this the other day. The problem sometimes with Christian dating is when you try to date people in your church, if it doesn't go well, basically you go on almost like the undateable list, because now that you dated that one person, everybody else is going to know your business. And the likelihood of you dating somebody else at your church is slim to none. So it can just turn into a little bit of unnecessary drama. And we both have I don't have as much experience, but we both have probably some degree of experience with that. So I think people not knowing who you were kind of helped, because people were not able to really be in my business. So I was able to keep it on the low. Not that I was trying to keep you a secret, but I was actually genuinely trying to get to know you and figure out who you are, figure out if this is even gonna go anywhere before people start knowing about it.
Yeah, that's good. I think like I said, the thing that I like was not able, like, because me personally, I know I like to have that distance also, because we wasn't tipping all the time and all those kind of things. And actually, I have a verse that I want to talk about for people that are long distance dating, the benefit behind long distance dating. But also, it also goes hand in hand about also with a topic of like basically about love and all those kind of things as well too. So it was from Song of Solomon. Y'all know Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon, verse 8, 6-7. And it says, set me as a steel upon your heart, as a steel upon your arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is fierce as a grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If a man offer for love all the wealth of his house, he will be utterly despised. And he goes on, you talk about the bosom and all that kind of stuff as well too. But we ain't going there today. Y'all know about the Song of Solomon. Anyways, so it talk about love, how fine it is, how in other translations talk about how love is like a burning fire. That's the other translation talk about like how love continue on, nothing can kill it. It keep on going and going. And I think about like how long distance dating actually builds the love as well too, because we so far apart. But actually, people that are around each other, not to despise people that are, not to talk down people that's dating close by, locally, whatever. I'm really talking about perspective of long distance dating.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to that, love actually builds up strong because we so far apart. It ain't like we all together all the time, every single day. So that's my one thing I loved about long distance dating, because like when I got to see you, it was like, oh, I finally get to see her, and that love that memories that we can build, like we take this time precious because it's the only time that we really have at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I only can see you once a month, so like that's one thing I loved about it. Also, and then also like we're not around each other all the time, so like it's not. I would say it's easier. Like I said, like nothing's easy, but it's easier in a sense of not tempted all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or not that kind of burden that's on you all the time. I don't know. That is me, my opinion. But the other question is I have, what do you dislike about long distance dating? What's one thing that you dislike about long distance dating?
I think probably the main thing that I disliked was trying to coordinate schedules and figure out when you were going to come. Because there was a couple of times where we didn't go. We went weeks and weeks without seeing each other, just because it was not going to work for our schedules. Because both of us are very much active in ministry and in the church, so a lot of times that it didn't happen as often as what we wanted to. So I would say probably that was the hardest thing, because when you don't see the person that you love for over a month, you start to question and ponder in your head, like, okay, is this really worth it? But I know we're talking about the downfalls of it, but I think that when you ask yourself that question, you start asking yourself more questions, and either the answers to your questions are going to be like, yes, okay, this really is worth it because of XYZ, or no, actually, this is probably kind of a waste of my time because this is not really not really getting anywhere, not really going anywhere. So
I think the factors of long distance dating is your time, your effort, your energy, and your money, and those things take more out of you because you don't see that person all the time, and it costs more to do long distance dating. Well, actually, I don't want to say it costs more, because people see each other all the time. Got to go on a date every single week.
That also is true. I never thought about that.
So it's not actually more expensive, I would think, but you still got to spend money to go see that person. Plane ticket, or if you're driving, gas money, whatever, this and that. It takes that, and then also got to worry about finding a place to stay, and worry about food, and worry about transportation, and all that kind of stuff as well too. So you got to take all those things into account. But I would say that the main thing for not making it easier, but if y'all both have the same mindset, and you know that y'all both have a goal, and that goal is towards marriage, and you really want to put your effort in. If one person is not committed and fully into it, don't do long distance dating. If you don't see him or her putting the effort in as you doing, taking the time to like schedule the thing, because even though I was the one coming here all the time, coming to see you, you still put the effort in to get your schedule together, get to where what we're gonna do that weekend, or what's the plan of how I'm gonna get from the airport to the airport, all that kind of stuff. She put an account to it as well too. It wasn't just on my part. So to suggest for y'all that are long distance dating, if your other half, the woman, the girl, the guy that you're dating is not putting the same effort as you, or even probably more than you, don't waste your time.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it, because their goal is not the same goal as you.
I think on multiple occasions, you know, people would say things once they found out who you were. Like, oh, he must really love you. He's coming to Delaware. Almost like, kind of like a sarcastic a little bit or a slight. But it's kind of like, no, really. He really does love you because you put in the effort, you know. A person that ain't one that really want much to do with you, not one really committed to you, is not going to go through all that. So
especially Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware, where it ain't nothing.
I tell my people are friends all the time. Oh, I'm in Delaware. They're like, Delaware? What is Delaware? I gotta tell them, oh, it's by Philly, it's by Maryland. Like, oh, we know where that at. But they don't know what Delaware is. I didn't know what Delaware is on the map, to be truthful, to tell y'all the truth. That's a whole different thing right there, too. I didn't even know what Delaware is on the map. So, yeah, definitely. It's definitely love have to be in it. Commitment have to be in it. You definitely have to take that time. But like I said, you have to be both have the same goal, and that's to honor God, to know that the goal at the end is to have marriage. And if you see something in that person, take the time and take the effort, put the effort in, put the action into it. If you don't waste your time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
effort is definitely important for long distance dating.
Yeah.
I think another thing that I would mention is with long distance dating, it is a little bit of, not a little bit, it's a lot of tests and trials. So I think you kind of really see who that person is fairly quick. So I think that's a good thing. But the reality is that with dating, and more so is like a trial and error kind of thing, really, because you don't know all about that person when you first go out with them or take a chance on them. So I would say just, have a little bit of faith.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Even if you do long distance and it completely fails, that's okay, because you learn from it, you grew from it, you learn more about yourself, and you learn more about, what kind of person you want to be with, and what kind of person that God has for you. Because I think I have been there a couple times where I was a little bit discouraged by certain situations or certain relationships that I had wanted to be in, and it didn't, turn out or work out like I thought. And I started thinking, like, okay, am I not good enough? Am I expecting too much? Is my standard too high? This and that. And then, I just continued to trust God that he would send the right person. And, we met and did long distance. And from the very beginning, there was that effort that I got to see.
Amen.
And so I will also add that as well, like persevere even through it, because you're not just, everybody's love story is not gonna be like in the movies. Our love story is not like in the movies, as you guys heard in episode, I don't know what episode it was, but the one where I twisted my ankle and all that stuff. But everybody's love story is not gonna be like in the movies. Sometimes it's gonna be a little bit rough to start, and there's beauty in the struggle. Yeah, for sure.
That's good. Yeah, I think it applies to all kind of relationships, no matter if it's long distance, short distance, or whatever. That goes with it hand in hand as well too. But
for long distance dating, for those of you that are brave enough to attempt it, what would you say are like the main 3 things to look for? Like the main 3 things to look for from the other person if you're dating somebody long distance.
I mean,
signs that it's a good long distance relationship.
Well, I think we both gonna say the same thing. We're like we talked about already, like effort. They effort, and also is they really they effort, the trust, a trustworthy person, the effort, the trustworthy, and their commitment.
Okay.
I would say those 3 things.
That's good. I would say emotional maturity. Yeah. emotional maturity. I would say for the ladies, does he have a vision of some sort?
Like a, what's the word? I forgot the word. Self-driven?
Maybe, but not like a pipe dream.
Yeah,
like
pipe dream.
He's
gonna
be a rapper.
I got you.
/ NBA player.
Ambitious. Ambitious.
You can be ambitious and still be ambitious about the wrong things.
That is true. You're right about that.
But yeah, I would say emotional maturity, a vision, and fruit of the spirit. Like truly, the fruit of the spirit. I would say those probably the main things. Yeah. Otherwise, I would say that you're probably wasting your time.
Yeah, for sure.
That long distance relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
I think it's time for story time.
This is the story of when everything that we planned for went completely wrong. That seemed to happen a lot in the beginning.
That happened a lot. I think I know you're going. Go ahead.
You might have to give it a better name than what I just gave it. But I don't remember which number time this was of you coming to Delaware. But you had booked your plane ticket and everything to come. And both of us were thinking that you were flying into Philadelphia. Literally, both of us saw he was flying into Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
Literally until the night before, we're checking everything just to make sure we're good to go. And we look at the thing and we're like, wait a minute, that says Baltimore. So, thank the Lord we checked it the night before, because I literally drove to Philly and been like, where are you at? And you've been like, I'm outside. And then you've been like, wait a minute, that says Baltimore. Yeah. So, that happened.
I don't know what time that was either.
I don't either, but I don't even know how both of us.
Nah, we both missed that.
But I'm pretty sure that was the same time. That was the time you came, and my car broke down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
This is the first time I came there.
This is the first time you came?
It had to be the first time we came. Because your car broke down. Actually, your car broke down twice.
Yeah.
So it had to be either the first time or whatever time.
So,
yeah.
First off, we planned for the wrong place to pick where I'm supposed to pick him up at. The day of, my car starts acting real janky. That day I'm supposed to pick him up from Baltimore. And it's like overheating. I had to stop several times when I was at the mall. Call my dad, try to figure it out, and it is just not working. I tried putting coolant in it. I had some of my friends look at it. I'm like, I have to pick Richard up from the airport. I don't remember what my parents were doing at that time, but I was not able to use my mom's car. But I think it actually ended up working out where I actually was able to use.
You got to rent a car.
I got a rental car?
I don't know.
No. I used my mom's van.
Oh, you did use the van?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I had to.
So
I had to use.
This actually was the first time then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the first time then.
Jeez, this is rough. So my car was not working, so I couldn't pick him up from the airport. I had to use my mom's minivan to drive to Baltimore and pick him up. It's late at night. It was like crazy traffic coming back to Delaware, and usually from here to Baltimore is about an hour and a half, but it was like 3 hours that night, of course. And it was just all the things going wrong. We had plans to what's that, Baltimore?
No,
am I mixing
we
up
went back to
stories?
Delaware.
We went back to Delaware and we were gonna go back to Baltimore. Yes?
I don't remember.
If that's the same time.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
We gonna go to Delaware and then go to Baltimore, and we gonna tour Baltimore and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we had plans to go back to Baltimore, but I ain't had no car. So we tried to go to rental car place, get a rental car.
That didn't work.
Ain't no rental places had any rental cars. And it was just, it was brutal.
It was an event that weekend. So for some reason in Delaware, it had an event. So everybody rented the car out. So we had no rental car. And then So we got to get an Uber. So the money that we going to spend on a rental car, we use to get an Uber. Which is about the same amount of money we got to spend on the Uber, on the car.
Yeah, but the car I could have kept for a couple of days.
That is true. Yeah, that's the only thing about it. But yeah, we spent the money we going to spend on Uber, rental car. We spent on Uber all the way to Baltimore. That was a drive.
Yeah.
That was a drive. So at least we didn't have to drive. Somebody else drove for us. So it was a cool ride.
It was just a struggle, really. A struggle for you to get here, a struggle for me to pick you up, a struggle once you got here because you couldn't really do a whole lot. So I think from the very beginning, I don't know if it was God testing me or testing us or what.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of wrenches thrown.
I think we got a little bit of time. Speaking of Baltimore, went to Baltimore. Actually, remember that was the first time I ever went to Baltimore, and we tried to go to somewhere to eat for lunch, and that's
the place I was talking about from episode 1.
I took it to the hood.
With the hood.
Yeah, that's the same. It's the same time.
It's the same story.
I think so.
Jeez, how did you make it past date number 2? How?
I don't know. But yeah, this is the same story when I took to the hood. I'm thinking I'm looking for some good food. Oh, this is some good food place. We in Baltimore. I'm cool with it because I'm from the hood anyway, so I didn't really think of nothing about it. But yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy trip. So yeah, long distance dating ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
So for all those who are watching, definitely look for the commitment. Look for the trustworthy. Look for the fruit. Look for the emotional and what's the other thing? Emotional maturity. Vision. All those kind of things because you're gonna need it.
If you're naturally, I think you have to be real with yourself. If you're naturally a naive person and you are lacking in the discernment department, I would say long distance dating is probably not for you.
Not at all.
But if you are more on the discerning side and looking to get married and put yourself out there and start dating, give it a shot.
And a lot of the boundaries that we had, we talked about it on the boundaries of dating. I think boundaries and dating. Mm-hmm. Those things apply to long distance dating. So that's those that are watching. Make sure to check out that video on boundaries. And I hope this will help y'all, encourage y'all, and to continue on your dating, and to give you some good sound advice from 2 people who went through long distance dating. Yeah, so that's all for now.
By God's grace.
Exactly, that's all it is. But thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment down below what should be our next topic for the podcast. And thank you all for the feedback. Share this with somebody that's in long distance dating, or share this with a friend or family member. And anything else?
No.
All right. Well, see you next week. God bless you all.
Bye.
Good luck on that dating.